Hi, welcome. This is IndigoMoon Aussies. Today is Wednesday, October 30th, the day before Halloween, and we're here for the first time to introduce on camera our beautiful Star Collection litter. This is a repeat breeding from Champion Earnhardt, Paradiddle's Ironhead Intimidator. He's owned by a very dear friend of mine, Lori Farr, and he was the sire to the Precious Metals litter as well. And Mirah, who I co-bred, and Lori Farr was actually the breeder on Mirah. Mirah is out of our sire Rico, very well known, internationally known Rico, group placing and group winning. So these pups are grandkids to Rico, and their pedigree is online. So for the first time we're introducing them on video. They had their tails done. I thank you for the people that pointed out I did make an error and put their date of birth as the 28th, and I meant it as an update. And these have been the hardest ones to differentiate who is who. So, but we are going to do that. Okay, so let's see. Let's find the first one we want to introduce, the firstborn. We named her Nashira. She's sold. She's going to Shirley. She is going to be Shirley's therapy or service dog for Shirley herself. And Shirley is local in Arkansas, and so of course that's a big thrill for us to have a dog doing service or therapy. She's got a great sweet temperament. You can see her little tongue. I have to kiss my babies. They were really colicky yesterday, and I found out later in the day that my son had given Mirah several pieces of pizza, and of course they're fine today. Now they're quiet and doing good, but I know you were colicky, huh? And at this age they get squirmy. If I lay down, and they'll all come up and nuzzle against me. But she is being called Diesel, and she's a beautiful little girl. Love her face. Oh, what? Her just wants to nuzzle with me. Okay, well, we just got to show everybody. So she's got a nice white front on the show side and just past the paw. She's got, sometimes when I look at her collar there, I just see different designs in it. And it's really typical at this age when they're handled for them to cry. It's not an indication that they're hard to manage or anything. She has matching feet. I know. They want to be with me, like if I put them down in my shirt, that's what they want. They want to be nuzzled. So this is the firstborn. She's a big girl. She's solid. As you can see, the balance. In some of the newborn pictures, they looked like they had a lot of legs. But the first litters already showed us. These are cobby bitches with a lot of bone. Again, if we take the face and put the paws up there, you can see this is she's going to be a beautiful girl, not very tall, small white blaze, so she looks to me a lot like Mirah in the face, and who couldn't love Mirah? So I think we're going to try to maybe move her. Well, now that we've got them done, I know, sweetheart, because they're going to be getting weighed, and we're also going to do some pictures. Here you go, sweetheart. You go in there. Okay, so she's sold. Nashira is her litter name. Diesel is the name that Shirley named her. And next we have what I consider the pick of the litter. Unfortunately, however you want to look at it, we never dreamed in a million years we would have all females. We've always kept a puppy out of the litters, but we already have a female, and I have actually 3 young females to show. So since we did not get a male, I feel this is the pick bitch. This is Talitha, and you can see her front. She has, on the non-show side, the front goes all the way up into the white, into the collar, and on the show side, it goes up almost to the elbow. She has a very large collar that comes close to the withers, and around she has that geometric black circle within the white. The white does go all the way down. Like I said, if you can see on the non-show side, the white goes up, and it's a really big full collar. It almost matches if you look at her head. I love her face. I love all the heads, and I loved all the females the way they turned out. The black is starting to come in, and her blaze is pretty good size. Now the white does, on the face, the white does shorten up a little bit. So you want to see a lot of white because it actually ends up not being as much white. But she's got a beautiful collar to work with. Her rear, she has matching white feet that are in a V design, which is pretty common, full white belly. Let me show you her balance. On some pictures I know she looks like she has a lot of leg, but these are very lot of bone, very cobby, very balanced. Even at this age, you should be able to see balance in a pup. So, and again, we'll put her paws up. Talitha has a lot of bone. So I feel she's my pick bitch. Okay, Miss Diesel. Yeah, there you go. There's a buddy. They're spoiled. We had to put Mama up because she would never allow us to do this. Okay, so let's see who's next. I believe that a couple of them are marked so closely. Okay, this is Acela, and she has a big yawn for us. Hi, I love Acela's head. All these puppies, if you notice, they all have very well-defined stops, which is definitely what we want to see. On the show side, she has pretty good white, comes up past the elbow into the white belly, and on the non-show side, it's almost matching, not quite. All of them, by the way, have white underneath and white bellies. She has a pretty good, it's not a symmetrical white above the head, and she has looks like a little flame to me on the back. So she's not as flashy, but very much like Mirah, who easily finished her championship. So she doesn't have tons of chrome, but she definitely has the structure. I would say structure-wise, show quality as far as flash. Let's take a look at her balance. Again, we're seeing quite a bit of consistency, and look at those big bellies. They're big eaters. Mary has a lot of milk, and you can see the leg versus body length. They are going to turn out very much like the females from the prior litter, what I call cobby. Tons of bone. Again, let's look at her. She has really a lot of bone. She has a little bit wider face. Not a bad or good thing, just a little different. I'm seeing her being filled out a little more like perhaps Ray as opposed to Shimmer. Shimmer has a little bit more defined, or a little bit like Mirah. Mirah has a little bit shorter muzzle. Very, very pretty. So that is Acela. And Acela is available. And for now, I'm saying Acela, a pet or performance home. I really feel for show quality females or males, they really need to be outstanding unless it's someone very experienced or that's very aware of what is needed. Okay, so let's move on to Vega. And this is Vega. And Vega is the fourth brightest star, which is why we named her Vega. Love her face, love her markings. She's symmetrical. She's got that white around the face, the white into the blaze. It's really full, and like I said, it recedes was the word I was looking for. So I would consider her, I feel like she would be show quality. She has more white than Mirah did. And again, structure always comes before color. And if we look at her white front, the white comes up almost to the elbow on the show side and just slightly below the shoulder on the non-show side. Again, they all have the white belly. They all have the white neck. Rear feet, matching rear feet, half a rear feet. A lot of people don't like to see a lot of white up the leg. To a point it can be considered a fault. Let's take a look at her balance. And you can see she is a little bit even shorter legged, I would say, than the couple that we've looked at. but she's got good bone, good balance, good structure. Their bellies are so full, you can't judge their top line. Again, if we look at the paws, we see great bone in comparison to the rest of the body. Very solid pups. Her collar, to me, again, sometimes it looks like just a splash of white, more so than Mirah had at her age. And then sometimes I see an angel or a dove. Sometimes, again, I see like a mark within that. But that's Vega, baby girl. And she's sweet. They're all really good. Their personalities are starting to come out. Vega's got a sweet personality, just like Diesel does. Very sweet. The showgirl, Talitha, now she's being quiet and good now. Oh, and I do want to point out, and I'll use Talitha since I do think she's the pick of the litter. They have just beautiful copper that's symmetrical, especially this one here. It just is probably not going to show well. It's not showing in the pictures, but if you were to see her in person, you would see what I see, and that's exactly where we want to see. Right over the eyebrows, symmetrical, on the cheeks, symmetrical, on the legs, back and behind, symmetrical, coming up every place you want to see the copper. They all have copper. It just takes a while for it to come out clear enough and strong enough to be seen on the movies and the pictures. Yes. Yes. Now, Talitha's a little bit of a sasser. She is. She is. She's my favorite. If I was going to keep one based on color and structure, it would be her. And so next we have Surma. And I feel Surma is the other really flashy girl. And there is a problem on my pictures, and somehow we missed Surma. So let's start with the face. I love her face. I love her head. In fact, there's things between her and Talitha. There's some things, and if you can see her copper, it's just sometimes age, or it's just the way it goes. Her copper is probably a little more noticeable, but Talitha has the same amount of copper. So we have a really pretty face, beautiful head shape, nice stop already, and let's look at her front. On the show side, the white, these are strong puppies, goes up just a little bit past the elbow, and on the non-show side, it's just past the paw up to the ankle, which is about what Rico, the grandsire, has. The show collar is a pretty full collar. It comes around, and it might be hard to see, but it actually does come all the way around into the front here. It fans out, nice big white here on the back like we like to see. And then on the non-show side, it also completes around. It's just a little hard to see. So she's another, for sure, show quality. Let's take a look at her balance. Let me get her hoisted up there. As you can see, beautiful balance again, other than those big tummies pulling down. Leg in proportion to body is just absolutely stunning. Bone, she has a lot of bone, a lot, when I look at her. But her face is a little more defined, so I see her being just a little bit more feminine, but definitely not snipey. And of course, there's always the advantage when you've seen, they're almost, I think they're 9 or 10 months now, the prior litter, so we really can see what they're maturing out to be, and we just couldn't be more happy. We were just thrilled, which is why we repeated the breeding, because it was a very successful breeding. So, okay, last of the black tries is Chara. Chara has the least amount of white on the collar, but she has a lot of white up her leg, and if you notice the marks, they had their dew claws and tails done on Monday, so that's just normal healing. And she's got a lot of personality. As you can see, if I'm in here, she'll be one of the first ones, her and Diesel, to come up to snuggle against me, but she doesn't like being held away from me. She likes to be held against me. So her blaze, if you look at her face, again, love the shape of the face, darker face like Mirah, very tiny blaze that comes into the white right above the head. She has really nice white legs, And look at the bone, really great bone again. All the bitches from this litter and the prior cross had tons of bone. Bone was definitely not a problem. Very cobby girls. I really like the shape of her face. Her copper the same way, above the eyebrows, on the cheeks, a little bit on the legs, everywhere we want to see it. We've got beautiful copper, white belly. Her belly might have a little bit less white than some of the others, but still a white belly. And she has pretty much matching about a quarter to a half of her toe. Let me show you her back. She has the smallest white dot, so I would say she's the closest as far as Mirah on the collar markings. Mirah just has one little tiny bit of white. Oh, and she has a lot of personality, huh? Oh, I know. Tell me. She's a sasser. I know she's a sasser. She just wants to be loved. She just wants to be loved and hide. And if we look at her balance again, we see just beautiful balance. I just really, really love these females. You know, we were a little disappointed because we had our hearts set on a male for our breeding program. And as most breeders, you know, our plans go into, you know, we plan years ahead. And nature or God gives us, you know, He has His own way, and it always works out for the best. So we've just decided we've got too many females that are going to need to be shown and trained and so on. So that's what makes the two pick bitches available. And last but not least is our beautiful red girl, beautiful color. She is sold. She's going to Italy, and she is just stunning. Look at that little face. She has the most adorable face. A lot like Talitha. She's got full white on both legs, and her white collar. There's the white on her back. And so she has, I would say, more than a partial white collar, because now on the collar it's going to fan out, and the white fur on the collar always grows longer. So that's going to fill out and be able to be brushed. But definitely, she's definitely, I consider her flashy. Full white belly, full white feet. The copper on her, I don't know if you can see it, but she has copper, again, symmetrical above the eyes. Love the stop, love the head. She's got a lot of personality, but she's a little, because she's red, she's very special. Yes, she is. And I was so tempted to keep her too, just because I love the reds. And she has some white coming into here. So let's look, if we look at her bone to her face, and look at her paws, she's got really good bone. I'm just so thrilled with the bone on these girls. And we'll look at her balance, and again, she is sold, and she's going to be going to Italy. And she's going to be a junior handler's dog. So she's got beautiful balance too, little shorter backed. And that's it. That's all the beautiful girls, 7 girls. And we found out, a friend of mine called me after the litter was born, and there's a constellation that's actually called the 7 Sisters. And I thought that was interesting. That's not why I named them Star Collection. I did that because Mirah's name is Midnight Star. But that's the puppy, so we're going to do pictures next. This is their first video. They're doing great. They're gaining weight. We like to see them double their weight around a week to 10 days, but they're probably going to double their weight in 5 days. So again, IndigoMoon Aussies, Star Collections, Ch Earnhardt and Mirah. Thanks so much for watching.